Katie's Mission interview with Cassandra Miller.
Hey everyone, this is Kim Ward, President and CEO of Katie's Mission. And as you know, we are Stigma Stompers. It is our mission, our responsibility, and really our passion to bring you the resources that are going to help you live a more fulfilling life, a life that you can truly be happy with, and understand that suicide is not an option. Today, we're going in a totally different direction, and I'm really excited about this. So one of my new friends, Cassandra Miller, is here with me today. Actually, let me pull you up next to me. There we go. Hello from Colorado. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
So I just want to see, we're talking about getting out of pain and staying out of pain. And that's really cool because I never stop to think about movement and what that has to do with our mental health and with really what's going on with this big piece of fat between our ears that we call our brain. And so Cassandra is here after we attended kind of an event together, and I heard her talking, and it clicked something in me that I knew would be completely valuable to you. So Cassandra's website is here in the description, retrainyourpain.org. But what I want to share before we really hear from Cassandra is, for me, I've been working at home full time since 2015. So it's been about 5 years. And, we've got mobile devices. Technology is great. I have the ability to work from my phone. But truth be told, when my daughter's at school, I'm in this chair. And I probably sit in this chair for maybe 6 hours a day, realistically. And I get up and I walk around little by little, but not enough. And so what does this have to do with you? Interestingly enough, I didn't realize when my bitchiness peaks, when my anxiety peaks, when I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I tend to get snippy and I snap at the loved ones, the people around me. And so about 2 weeks ago, I decided to treat myself to a massage. There's a local massage therapist, and I went to see her, and she made me feel like $1 million. I felt incredible. She released the knots and the tension, and we moved my body, and I was like, whoa, that's what that feels like. I literally shed like 10 pounds of energetic weight, and I felt amazing. And the funny thing is, it's been 2 weeks, and I'm not calling myself, a bad name, but I can be a little snotty, and it's not on purpose. But the past 2 weeks have been the most consistent moods I've had in such a long time, which is giving me better communication with my child and my spouse. It's making me happier. I'm loving life. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize the impact that movement had on not just physically, but mentally as well. And that's where you come in, my dear.
Well, that's going to be a fun tie-in.
Well, I'd say, isn't that crazy? But you're going to say, no, that's not crazy.
No, not at all. No, not at all. So I'll give you guys a little bit of my background. I am actually a massage therapist by trade. I've been doing that for 12 years.
I didn't even know that.
So that's where I got started. I have my bachelor's degree in exercise science. I'm a certified stretch instructor, certified level 1 Rossiter coach. So I have a profound amount of training in the human body, and I've seen firsthand over the 12 years of doing massage therapy just how powerful it can be for people. It can make a tremendous difference in your life. We'll talk more about why I'm transitioning away from that a little bit into this new piece, but really movement affecting your mental health, I think is so vital. I've been trying to come up with a good analogy that people can latch onto, because we really don't understand. The majority of people do not understand the critical role that muscles play in our lives. We were not meant to be sedentary individuals. If we were, we wouldn't have muscles. Like, their entire purpose is to move us. And the best analogy I can give you is a car. I don't know if this is really going to resonate with everybody, but we kind of understand the car has a battery and it has an engine, right? And we can equate those to the brain and the heart. But what part would be the muscles? And it finally dawned on me, I hope I'm saying this right, they are basically the alternator. And the alternator in your car is providing, it's recharging the system, right? If your muscles are breaking down, it doesn't matter if the brain and the heart are functioning. There's nothing to give that energy. There was somebody else that was talking about your muscles are energizing every other system in your body. And this is why you feel relief when you get a massage. This is why you feel relief from your anxiety, stress, tension, whatever it is, depression, when you move, because it is physiologically stimulating all of the hormones and chemical reactions that are leading to that depression and that anxiety. It's changing it. So I could talk about movement all day long, but
I love it. No, it's really for somebody like me, and I think a lot of our audience is going to feel the same way. We don't sit here and think, oh, I've got to move, right? Our muscle, the muscle memory is such a real thing. So if I'm sitting here in this chair and I'm like, oh, I want to go stretch. Oh, I'm not the 16-year-old cheerleader that I used to be. These muscles don't want to go that way anymore. And so I go right back to the position I'm comfortable in. We don't think about the role that movement plays, and that it all plays here physically, moving the blood, like you said, and what the real ramifications are by not getting that movement.
Absolutely. You keep coming back to it, so I'm just going to jump into it, talking about how you've alluded to it a couple times, being older and not moving as well as you were when you were younger. I have a huge passion to really dispel this belief that the majority of people have, that your age is dictating your health. It really, especially your movement health. I don't believe that it is. I don't believe there's anything that says because you are a certain age, you can't move as well anymore. If you're having pain, if you're having movement limitations, it's not because, for me, I'm 35. It has nothing to do with that. It's not because you're 50 or 60 or 70. That happens because you have misused or disused your muscles. And your age is simply a timeline, gives us a timeline for probably how long that's been happening. That's all it is. I'm trying to think, there is a culture somewhere in the world, I want to say like in the Mediterranean area, they have the healthiest group of aged individuals in the world. I mean, these people are living past 100+ years.
Wow.
And they're living vibrant, carefree, full moving lives. Like, they're not sedentary at all. They're riding their bicycles. Nutrition plays a huge part in that. That's not my realm, but yes, they're eating well, they're moving their bodies, and you wouldn't know that they're 100+. I mean, it's fantastic. So if you get nothing out of this conversation today, please latch on to this idea that your age does not have to dictate how well or not so well you move. You can reclaim that. You can recover it. It doesn't take too long. It does take some discretion and knowing what your body needs. The whole reason I started my program is because there's so many of these generic videos out there, stretching videos, exercise videos, and they can be good, but they could also be encouraging a really bad movement behavior in you that's going to lead you to injury down the road. So we need to look at what is your specific movement limitation. How do we erase that and reset the board, so to speak, so that not only are you feeling good and moving, but you're also not at risk of injury in the future.
I'm glad you said that, because my past life, I was a clinical lab manager, so worked with a lot of patients, and they would come in. My own husband has done it. And you see these back injuries and you see these ridiculous injuries, and people are put out for days or weeks on end, and it's like, what did you do? And they will say, I just moved the wrong way. And bam, it can have a debilitating So I would much rather know, if I'm been in this position as long as I have and I'm ready to kind of reclaim myself and that energy, I want to work with somebody who knows what the heck is going on and not try to go with some resistance bands on YouTube. No,
That's
thank
good.
you.
That's actually really good to hear, because I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'll just find a video and I'll type in the area that I'm having pain and I'll follow along, which you can do. Again, it needs to be more personalized than that, because a lot of times our movement helps us feel good, not because it's necessarily good for us, but because of all the endorphins that are now flooding our body, right? They kind of overshadow maybe any negative things that had happened during the exercises themselves. So you have to be really mindful about what type of movements and the right order of movements. That's a huge part of my programming that isn't really taught anywhere else. It's not just what you're doing, but in what order you're doing them. That can make a profound difference as well. But yes, there's so many people.
Skilled. Oh, that's amazing. I love that you're so skilled. I mean, this is why we have subject matter experts, and this is really why I wanted you on, because it's not something we really think about or talk about, and it has such a huge ripple effect on your life in every way, shape, or form. Now, I don't remember what product it is for, and it's completely irrelevant, but I do remember seeing this commercial, and it was kind of like a middle-aged man, and the whole line, it's never left my mind, but it says, a body at rest stays at rest, and a body in motion stays in motion. And I thought back to the days where I was actively doing aerobics. I was at the gym, like everything moved fluidly. My moods were great. Like life was just great. And you didn't have those strains. You didn't have shin splints. You didn't have waking up sore, like whatever it looks like in your life, you can probably relate to some degree. And like I said, now that I've been working at home for so many years and really not exercising, really not moving, and just kind of sitting in this chair, that commercial was like, damn, he's right.
And there are so many caveats to that. The first time I heard something similar, I think it was, oh my God, like a Buddhist monk had said something about your body will get better at whatever you do. So if you sit a lot, your body will get better at sitting. If you walk, your body will get better at walking. It's just a matter of, again, learning how to do that and reinforcing that movement. But our bodies are so adaptable. If you're in pain, if you have movement limitations, if you're feeling like your body's breaking down and it's going to take forever to recover it, let this be your beacon of hope. Our body's so adaptable. It doesn't take the 35 years to undo everything that we've done previously, right? You can start today, start incorporating more of those movements, more walking, not being in your chair as much, right? Like finding something to do it a little bit every day. And in a week, I mean, it's so fast, you'll start to notice a marked improvement in how well your body is moving, especially through that particular movement, or exercise.
Okay. So you just kind of like thought of something when you said that.
Okay.
So for many of us, it's the mindset of, let's just say all of us here, we've not been to the gym in such a long time, and we know we want to get healthy. We want to get more active, but it's that mindset of, I don't want to go back to the gym. We all know once you're back in the gym and once you're back moving, you're feeling great. What's the secret to changing that mindset to, now I've been in this chair for 5 years, okay, I'm going to go walk for 30 minutes a day. Or the person at home is like, okay, I hear you, I'm going to go, jog, or whatever that looks like. So where does the mindset piece fit?
Oh man, you have to start small. And I know that's probably infuriating for a lot of people to hear, because we like this mentality of go big or go home, right? But your body won't be able to handle that. And you and I both understand this philosophy that we're kind of learning over and over. You need a win, right? You need a really quick win. You need to be able to feel good about what you're doing and see that it's providing you some relief to give you the motivation to keep going. So if you jump in too fast with something too grandiose, and you end up getting injured from that, you're not going to associate it as, hey, I did too much too soon. You're going to associate it as, hey, I'm not capable of doing this anymore, right? So do something really small. I would say look for that activity that you like. Like when you're thinking of what you would want to do if you had the time to do it, what is that, right? Is it going for a walk? Is it walking with your dog? Is it walking alone? Is it climbing stairs? I mean, I don't know anybody that really likes climbing stairs, but maybe you're that person, right? Like what is that one thing that you can do at your house? I wouldn't even say look for a gym that you can go to, because there's a whole nother motivation that's going to require you getting in the car and driving away and spending the time getting there and back, right? Do something at home, do something small, and do it every day and see how much it changes over a week. And that reassurance and the feedback you're physically going to get in your body, what you're going to feel, will help stimulate more and more movement as it progresses, because you're going to feel so good doing it.
That's awesome. So I feel like I'm totally putting you on the spot, and I'm okay with that, but I don't know a whole heck of a lot about your program. I know you, and that's enough for me.
Okay.
So when it comes time to doing the thing, many of us this day and age are looking for instant gratification. So when you're working with somebody, or you have a client that you're working with, and maybe they're not seeing those results as quickly, you know, how does that process work, where it's like, look, you've got to stick with this and be consistent for a period of time before you see the results, and not just have that, I'm done, I quit, right? Do you get that a lot?
No, because the difference is how quickly our muscles adapt. So there are certain things, like in business, we understand it takes time. Right, we're building this muscle. You have to be consistent. You have to keep doing this really for a while before you can really see any type of payoff from that. But again, our bodies don't function that way. Our bodies are so adaptable. It takes days. Like, it's really not as involved as other learning curves maybe. I really haven't come up with that a whole lot. Maybe they're just not sharing it, but if you get the right movement for your body, you're going to notice a change right away. So it's just what's going to happen. So
here at Katie's Mission, we are stigma stompers. So we're stomping that stigma that you're not going to have instant gratification with Cassandra, okay? But in all honesty, I think for me, movement just brings my brain immediately back to weight loss. And that's kind of where my muscle is right now. It's like, you know, this isn't about weight loss. This isn't, I mean, is it possible to achieve, you know, some weight loss once you're moving and getting that fluid back in your body and you're doing the thing? Sure, right? But that's not the purpose of why people come to you. So when they do, like, how would somebody recognize, holy crap, this is someone I could work with, or this is something that I would need? What awareness level or what signs would they be looking for to say, this is my next step?
Usually it's people who have chronic pain. They have tried everything else. It's not really working. They've done the PT, they've done the massage, they've worked with the doctor. This will tie in nicely into why I'm kind of moving away from massage therapy a little bit. But those individuals who physically feel a change in their body, and honestly, they're frustrated by it. They're frustrated, they're discouraged, they're embarrassed. They just know that something isn't working like it should, and they don't know what else to do. I love massage therapy because, again, it can help so much. I've seen it help so much in the 12 years that I've been doing it. But I started to notice that I was becoming a crutch for so many of my clients. They were using me because they didn't know what else to do. And that is a problem in my mind. It falls right in line with that give a man a fish philosophy. And I would much rather teach a man to fish. I want you to understand how you can help yourself get out of pain, understand the principles of how your body works, the signals that it's sending you, that it's in distress, learn how to intervene appropriately, and learn how to move your body in a way that's going to reduce all of that, if not eliminate it completely. Like, that's my goal, is to get rid of it completely for you. You've got to do the work. So it depends on how, if that works long term. But if you follow it and you do what your body needs, you absolutely can get out of pain. You absolutely can eliminate all injury altogether. And those are the people I would say. You maybe are tired also of having to spend the money and the time going to a massage therapist or a physical therapist. Like, it's super expensive. I don't know if you know that, but like, super time consuming, super expensive, and you're not really left knowing any more about your body when you're done, other than do these exercises for this specific recovery of this specific area. You're left at their mercy if you have any other pain or injury come up in the future. So if you are, I guess I jumped around a little bit, but if you are the person who's having chronic pain, you've tried a lot of different alternative health interventions, it's really not abating any, it's not resolving itself, you've spent so much money and so much time trying to recover, and you just know that there's something out there, there's a better way. Those are the people that I love to work with, and those are the people that are seeking me out.
Yeah, so it sounds like massage therapy is really the Band-Aid, and you're attacking the root cause and just eradicating it completely, which is really cool. So for those of you who are thinking, I didn't know that I could ever not live without this chronic pain, there's hope. And here it is. Her name is Cassandra. Oh my gosh. Tell us more.
Yeah, I will say not all pain is considered equal, and not all pain is eradicated through movement. Like, I go through and I figure out if this is something that can help you. There's visceral pain, and by that I'm referring to organs, right? There's something going on in the organs that movement might not be able to address. But I want you to consider this: 80% of all doctor's visits are directly related to musculoskeletal injuries.
Wow, that's a huge number.
It's huge, and it tells me that we really don't understand how our bodies work, or if we do, we're just not caring enough to do anything about it. And I don't think it's the latter. I think it's we don't understand, because when I'm working with my massage therapy clients and I'm giving them the information, they're like, oh my gosh, that makes total sense to me. I never knew that. This is going to change my life, right? So I do think it's a lack of knowledge and a lack of education. But
so you offer a complimentary 30-minute chat, right? For people who want that guidance, who want to start really live that pain-free life. So you can go right to her website at retrainyourpain.org, scroll down a bit, and you can click that button and schedule your 30-minute chat just to see, what Cassandra has to say and share with you. And so what does that journey look like once you begin to work with somebody? What can they expect from you and from the process?
Well, it's kind of dependent on, I have a couple different programs that we can choose from, but right away when we do the phone call, I'm going to get more of your history, figure out what it is you're dealing with. My goal in that phone call is to give you at least one or two exercises that you can start doing right away to help you find relief. So it's a free call, and you're getting that information up front. If you decide that you want more guidance, then we figure out which program. I have a Retrain for Now and a Retrain for Life program. The For Now option is really for people who just want to get out of pain today. Like, it's reached its peak, they can't handle it anymore. They're not necessarily interested in all the education for how to get out of pain and stay out of pain for the rest of their lives, which is the Retrain for Life program. They just want to get out of pain today. And so that is about a month that we work together. We're meeting every week. and we're going through different exercises every week. I'm giving you new exercises to add. And at the end of it, we're coming up with 3 different movement routines specifically for you. I record them in video form. I give you the proper demonstration of how to do them. I give you the sequencing for them, and you have access to those.
So it's really personalized.
It's very individualized. I'm talking to you as a person. This isn't just, hey, I keep thinking of Beachbody videos, right? Like where they're
too.
and they don't use they're not talking to you. They're just talking to someone out there, right? This is not.
I'm glad you said it, because that's all I've been thinking.
Right? Yeah. So very personal. The Retrain for Life program is very, very similar, except it has all of the education of how your body works, so you can assess and readdress on your own. You don't need to go to the massage therapist because you're in pain. You can go to them simply because you just want to relax, do the work.
And not to be too corny, but these are obviously things and movements that someone can do individually. They don't need a partner or a spouse to put their knee in their butt for their sciatic or anything crazy.
No, that's the whole purpose. You helping yourself. You're not relying on any other person.
This is incredible. You guys just got your freedom back. Like, hello, this is so great. I was really excited about learning more about what this looks like, for people who need it, truly.
Which I think is probably most fun.
I do too.
Yeah.
Any age group, and really, how young, should we start thinking about?
Oh my gosh, my 2 kids get sick of me preaching to them about this stuff.
How old are they?
I have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been doing massage most of their life, so they're like, they understand that this is just part of who I am and what I do, and I would love for this type of education to be part of youth sports programs from the time that they're really young. I can't even count. I mean, I'm sure I could if I took the time, but the number of clients I've had that used to play sports when they were younger, and they're older now, they're more sedentary, right? They're not as active. And like, man, if I had been taught this when I was in that sport, like, it would have totally changed my life, which I think it can. But also when you're younger, you're not really in the mind space to hold on to that information. So I would gladly teach anybody, no matter what age. I think it's important, and what they do with it is up to them. But yeah, I think
the awareness and
really
knowledge, that's a critical piece. And, regardless of how young the person is, if it's made like your kids, this is a piece of who they are. This is life for them. So it's going to continue on with them. And I think the likelihood of a child, progressing into young adulthood and then adulthood might not have the chronic pain. They might never get to that point because this was a piece of who they were all along. So having that in youth program, I mean, that's an incredible thought process. And what a gift. What a gift. Oh, speaking of gifts, Christmas is coming up. We celebrate Christmas. So, and I'm just totally off the cuff here, but maybe someone's thinking like, wow, I'd really love for Cassandra to meet so-and-so or work with so-and-so as a gift. Is that possible?
Yes, I also had not even considered that.
Like my husband, he's getting back pain every now and then. And I mean, he was a lieutenant with fire rescue. So he's literally fallen out of trees. He's done some crazy stuff, not on purpose, but every once in a while he'll lay down and he's like, can you crack my back? And I'm like, no, I'm not cracked. No. And he'll give me the whole, like, my sciatic's out. Can you put your knee in my butt? And I'm like, no, go talk to Cassandra. So I would need like a gift card for like 4 sessions to gift my husband and say, you just go talk to her yourself.
Yeah. Let me figure out what that would look like. I mean, I hadn't.
So what else would you like our peeps to know? I mean, we've covered a lot of information, and this is great because it's a whole perspective that I really don't think a lot of us are really aware of. And now that we have that knowledge, I think now's the time to do something about it. So absolutely get your call scheduled. Talk to Cassandra, see what she has to say about you in particular, and you can schedule that chat for free right at retrainyourpain.org. But is there anything that we may have forgotten or left off of the table that needs to be a part of this conversation?
Of course, those kind of questions always make my mind go blank.
And
I'm trying to think of anything. Not that I know of. I'll just reiterate to everyone watching, you can have a pain-free, injury-free life. It may seem like a very radical idea. It's not. This is something that with our new lifestyles, how busy we are, I think our poor public health information around health has taught us that it's not possible. And I really want you to leave today knowing that it is. And it can be as simple as learning to move your body the right way and move it consistently.
I love it. I'm having visuals and I just want to share because as a mom, I'll go to the grocery store. I come home, the dog is always meeting me right at my car door. I'm getting my daughter out of the car. And of course I've got my purse on my shoulder. So ladies, and then I try to carry as many bags as I can into the house so I don't have to make multiple trips. So you know what we look like when we're bringing groceries or things into the house. And it's like, I'm just thinking of posture. I'm thinking of, your joints, your muscles, things like that. And really and truly what it has to do with your happiness level, your anxiety level, your sleep deprivation, or, everything that we do in life and the life that we're looking for is right here at our fingertips. So I really want to thank you for this gift because that's what it is. What you do is amazing. And I think what I love most is that it's so personalized. I don't know where else you guys are going to get this level of service. It's definitely not from the Beachbody videos. Right. I'm not knocking anybody, but you can throw in a pie
for other reasons. But yes, they won't help you in the long run.
But it's cool. And so are there different levels? That's what I wanted to ask you. So it's like, because you brought up Beachbody, I'm thinking there's the little level for the little guys, and then there's the medium level for the medium. Is there different intensities or different? Yeah. Okay.
And that's where that individualization and personalization really comes in, because so often we get into doing movements that we have no idea. We shouldn't be doing them if we haven't been doing something before. I had a client, he was I was having him stretch his quad. And he's like, oh man, I can't even do this. But when he was in the Army, they had him lay down on their back with their legs pulled up under them to stretch their quad. And he's like, I could do it. I was like, oh my gosh, that is such an advanced stretch. Nobody should be starting there. And so, yes, there's levels. Learning where you are and learning what your body is capable of today will dictate what modifications we have to make to any movement. That's really actually the crux of why working with somebody to get that specific guidance is so critical, because you will probably end up following along to a video where they say this will help this muscle group or this area of the body, and they're teaching you something that again,
you're not ready
putting
for
you at risk because you're not ready for it. So yes, there are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there are levels.
Oh, good. Well, thank you so much. This was incredible. I really want to inspire all of you to grab that free call. Again, it's retrainyourpain.org. And thanks so much for your knowledge, for your service, for your time. This was absolutely incredible.
You're welcome. I loved it also. So thank you for letting me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Maybe we'll have you back again soon, very soon.
All right.
Bye for now, you guys. Thanks for hopping on.